Hello, I'm Landon Krigler. I'm with Krigler Realty Group, and I manage some rental properties, and that's what I'm here to talk to you, particularly you realtors that may want to get involved in the property management business. It's not easy, but what it is good about the rental business, what's good about it is this. It gives you a steady monthly income. Now, I've sold real estate for 45 years or so. So I've been married 50, and I went in about 45 years. And I know this is not unusual, but I've had months where the business was really slow. And right now, I believe we're in a slow time. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it. In 2008, I had a mortgage company and the bank stopped lending money. So there was no business at all, nothing. Same on the housing. If they couldn't get financing, it had to be cash. And so it was really a tough time. So having a income, now you may already have one and don't need this and don't want it, but you can also make money with it in the rental business. So, and there's probably more opportunities now than before because a lot of people bought rental properties when the interest rates were down low. And they bought those properties and they really didn't or don't know how to manage them. So maybe they've used another property manager, but there's always turnover too. Somebody always gets dissatisfied with who's handling their property because they don't realize the work it takes. And if you do a good job, then you can limit the amount of time that you spend and that you can also increase your reputation. And you do that by trying to put this business on autopilot. There is no such thing in the real estate business as autopilot. It's a people business. Now, understand in an airplane, you can put in the coordinates and it will level it out and it will give it the right speed and so forth. And that's truly autopilot. But they have that word is thrown around. I'll use it too. You want to do that as much as you can in the rental management business. And so you also want to get trustworthy repair people, tradesmen. Have a list of those. And if you don't have them, talk to your fellow realtors or someone else, and they'll recommend you. They don't have any problem with that. So now, where do you get prospects? You can go to your county records, tax records, and you can get non-owner occupants. You'll get their name and address, and then you can go to searchpeoplefree.com, put in their name or their address, and you can get the phone number. Normally, it's a cell phone, and you can send them a text, and that's what I recommend. Of course, I make money off of that. If you want me to do it at 6 cents a person and say 1,000 property owners, I'll send it out for $60. Put your picture or picture of your company in that text, which is different. And that way you'll get those out quickly, or you can do it yourself. But we talked about saving time, and that's not much money to send those out. So you go to your county's records and you'll get that, the list right there. Put it in Excel, and then you can send that to me, and then I'll send them out for you, show you what the result was. Sometimes the numbers are bad, but we'll let you know that too, so that you can clean up that list there and reuse it if you didn't get any action or results from the first time. Sometimes it takes more than one. And hopefully you got a text to watch this video from me because that's what I do. I send it out to realtors. So don't hate me for that, because I'm asking you to do the same thing. So we're in the same boat right there. So you want to get that list. Now, what else can you do? You can offer a finder's fee to your fellow realtors, that 100, 200, even 300, depending on the price of the property. If you have a $3,000 property, that's $300 a month. You pay $300 to make 11 months of income and possibly more if they stay with you on the rental end of it. So you need to make it worth their while, and you have to be trustworthy. And if you're not, get trustworthy by acting right, trying to be honest in everything and building that reputation. So if you don't have it, get it. And you do that by time and doing things the right way and for the right reason. So that's what you want, regardless of whether you're in the rental business or in the real estate business. I'm sure you are if you're still in it. If you get a bad reputation, it spreads like wildfire. They'll tell 10 people. If you do good, they'll tell 2. So that's the way it works. But 2 is better than none. So build that good reputation. So that's the way we can do it. You offer the realtors. Now, how do you make it easy, automatic? Well, I'm going to share my screen with you now. I'm going to put this aside because I have a little cheat sheet. I can't remember everything. So I'm going to share our screen here. I'm going to share, there's my picture. I'm going to get rid of that baby here. And so we're going to bring up, here's a program that I had built for me according to what I wanted. Now, this comes along. If you buy a program, it's $4.99, and it's going to include everything I show you here. Now, some of the things have fees in addition to this, but there'll be no monthly fee. So that's rare. Everything's subscription basis. If you use it for a year, you've overpaid for what normally you could get it for on this, a one-time fee. If you use it 2 years, 3 years, and if it's worth it, you're going to stick with it. But a lot of times I've had to use this for 15 years, and there's no charge every month after a while. Now, I had to pay a big amount of money to get it developed. So you got your startup items here, and you enter your company information. You're going to have a username and password, which we give you, and then you'll put your company information here. Then you're going to enter your properties, and you just go over here and add, and there it is, all new, first name, owner of record, address, and owner of record. We're going to get to the owners in a little bit here too. So we'll close that out, and then you enter your properties. And you've already got your owners in there, so you'll have a pull-down list here to get that started. Let's add here. Make sure add an owner. Let's see, it gives you a little hint right there. And there's Landon Krigler. That's me. And here's all my sons. We own rental properties. Camp South, that's our company. Then you got some people down here that we manage for. And so then the type of property and so forth. And this is very simple, very simple. We'll close that. Enter your properties, and then you've already entered your owners. You enter your property. That's the one that the owner has. And then when you get a tenant, you enter those. And you're going to have whether that tenant is active, because you want to keep up with some of them. You may have to contact them before they're going on inactive, and you can search those as well. So we just add here, and first name to email, home phone, work phone, and notes right there. So very simple. There's your tenant. Now here's your lease. When you got them, you got your tenant, you enter those, and now what's the terms of the lease right here? So here's one grade road monthly, and there's your lease amount. And here's your management fee. And you can have your management fee. Now also you can put a late fee, if a flat fee amount, flat late fee per day. After grace, you can add a certain amount here. And I like to do that. If they're over 10 days late, you'd start charging by the day. What does that do? That helps them speed up. If they're just sitting there with that $50 late fee, then they may just hold out. But if it's accumulating, then it motivates them to pay earlier. Would you agree with that? I think you would. If you didn't, then I don't know what to say about that. And I don't want to be negative right there. So percent of expenses to management. So normally it's we'll charge 50% of the fees, the late fees, too, or 100%. Sometimes you get all the late fees. You just determine how you want to do that. But here's 50%. And there's your management fee, and it's 10% of the rent, $120. And if they're late, you make a little more. So you can make a couple of $100 a month off of this inexpensive. And I know it's inexpensive for your area, but it's probably about average for ours right here in Mobile, Alabama. So that's the way you get started with it, step by step by step. Now, here's the next thing you want to do is enter your service providers here. So we add a new one. There's Southern Glass. They repair. If you have a broken window, you can call them. And then we just add that. And then you'll put their specialty down here, glass repair. And I've got a list of 50 trades here that you'll classify. And later, when you want to have a service, we'll show you that. Then you just search by specialty. There it is right here. You can search by specialty over here. Let me close this out, close that form. And we'll in our service type. Let's see. In your service provider, in your service types, and your bank accounts. There it is. Service type, AC service. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. Roof repair, property tax, bank fees, and so forth. So it'll put that in there. You'll have your service providers. You enter those, and then you can search by type when you add a service, and then you'll enter your bank accounts. And by the way, we're going to normally collect these and automatically from their bank account. That's the way you want to do it. You don't want to, you bill them, but you want that thing to be taken out on the first of the month from their bank account. If at all possible, you get them to do that. I only have one person that pays me. They pay me regularly, and I started out letting them do that. But now anybody that rents from me, they have to agree to allow that to be taken out of their bank account on the first of the month, every month. So that's the way that works here. Handyman trades, and then so you can search here. That's what we were talking about. I had it covered up. So if you're looking for something here, then you can view your service providers right there. Let's go here. Lawn maintenance. I don't know how many. There you go. See that? Look at all that. So you'll have a variety there. I have a variety when you select those right here. Okay. And so there's our startup items. So then we go into auto billing. Now, I've already charged for the month. Create records for next month. Here, November. Let's see if it gives me an error message. Your invoices were created successfully. Okay. So that's for November. And so it does it automatically. And then you can bill them the same way. You create those invoices, email, next month's due on the first to the tenant. So you go ahead and email those to the tenants, and it'll do it automatically. So that's, and you can email your owner statements and everything else. So it's done automatically. That auto billing is billed automatically. It sends them the invoices, and then you can get reports, expiring leases, issues on each property. And this is good for the end of the year. You have a 1099 form that you'll give to your owners, and they will, of course, do their own taxes right there, but you send them the amount of money that you paid those. If you have vacant properties, unpaid rents, this is important there. Now, this goes back, look there, 2021, but you need to mark those paid rather than doing it. So it gives you a list of your unpaid rents right there. So I'll have to clean that up, but that shows you that you got to keep on top of things, or but it doesn't matter. Most of those I don't, year-to-date rents received. And then you go here. This is what you show your owners, and how much money you took out. So all this is highly automated, and we're going to show you how to collect the rents, amounts paid to owners. So you're going to have everything. Active security deposits. There we go. And if there's a pet deposit, we've got those, and that's accurate right here. I only have a few. So this is the reports, and that's very handy. And you just enter the information, it'll calculate it for you. Now, what do you want to do on your rent here? Let me see if I can get in here. Boy, took it too long. This thing is like, there we go. We're back in. So this is what you want to do with your tenants. This is a company called Forte. And I was told that they processed early on for PayPal until PayPal developed their own processing there. So they're an old company, never had any problems. Of course, that doesn't mean you won't have a problem before, but they're very secure, 100%. And so what you want to do is, let's go down here to get clients here. You want to add your rental person here. Get their phone number, their last name, and so forth. Customer ID. And you're going to put and then we're going to go to transactions over here. We're going to search transactions here. And we'll just go from October 1st, 23rd. There they are. See, and these have all been, these is how I pay, but these are the renters here on the positive, but there's the owners that I paid, and I checked this to make sure that I paid them. Now I waited, I was in Europe. I normally pay them after the 10th of the month here, but I didn't get back till the 16th, so I paid them immediately from the same process, the same account right here, and it's called it's called Forte. And I'll send you a link to that if you want it, where you can sign up. Now, there is a charge. It's like 35 cents a check, and you pay like 2.90 for a credit card. They can actually pay you by credit card, and that's handy sometimes. If people don't have the money, then they can pay by credit. But you want to make sure that you add another service fee. You tell them, yeah, you can pay by credit, but you're going to pay me 3%. So you make a little money off of that when they pay you by credit. So this is all done automatically. When you sign up that person here, then you're going to watch this. You're going to have down here frequency. And what you're going to do is put monthly. And so that's going to charge them every month, whatever you set up right here. And you get their routing number and their account, and then you set that up, and it'll be monthly. Very simple. And then what you do is nothing after that. And it's automatic. You just look at your report, and it'll come in there every month. And then if it's not good, then you'll be notified of it. So this makes it simple. It's a little difficult to set it up to start with, but once you get it set up, it's on autopilot as much as possible. Now, the same thing on your, I don't know if we covered all the services here. There's lease charge services. And what do? When you get a service request? Well, you put in here whatever property it is, and then you put the issue. So you'll have a record of it. And you can send this to your service provider over here. So whatever it is, and you assign it to a service provider. And it's Adams Drain right here. If they've got a plumbing problem, and they're plumbers too, so we can do that. You put the property description, and then you can send this to your print work order or email work order. You see there? So you can send it right here to the service provider so that you'll have a record. But it's good to call them too, and you'll have their phone number down here as well. There it is right there, business phone. And so property address. So nobody is confused. It's all in writing here. And then once it's done, then you're going to record the cost and whether or not who paid. That is, if you paid for it as the manager, then you certainly want to You got to continue. You got to fill this out before you start into that. So you'll have to have a complete, and that's good. It won't let you do what you can't do. And then once it's reimbursed, then you check it here and it won't be outstanding. So you can run a report later on and see who's paid you and who has not paid you for repairs. And that's very important. So let's look on our reports. Past due rents, unreimbursed service payments right here. And so this is some I haven't, that's old right here, but these I sold this house and we got it collected right there. So, but it will show you who has not paid you. And if you didn't mark it, it'll show up there too. And they'll say, no, I paid that already. So you just got to be accurate right there. That's a nice, now past due rents, that's, incredible here. And I had marked them paid because I was out of town. So I got a list of all these tenants that owe me money. And so I can call them or email them, but they've already paid. I just hadn't put it in there yet from my trip. All these expiring leases, you need to have that so you know when the leases are expiring. Vacant properties, you'll know that until you get a bunch of them here. Unpaid service, you want to make sure that you take care of that or you won't get the service people back out there again. Open issues, things that have not been taken care of, and you want to check that. Amount owed to owners, issues on each property. So when they say, well, I don't like paying you all this money every month, then you say, here's what we handle for you. and you just think about your time at $50 an hour and taking care of each of these issues that we took care of and collecting the rent. Of course, we do it automatically, but we're going to act like we have to tell them the truth, but we'll just tell them we're collecting the rent, not only collecting the rent, but we're taking care of all these issues that you can make more money yourself than working with these issues and causing you headaches. That we take care of that for you. Expiring insurance, that's a good, you want to make sure their insurance is up to date. You'll have, especially, on these properties that are pretty high priced, you don't want to have the tenant tear it up and then them not have insurance. So you'll make sure they have a date on there when and you can remind them it's getting close to your insurance. Be a good property owner and a good advisor to your owners. All kind of things here that are useful for you. One-time fee, this is included, and also you'll include your automatic collecting there. You'll pay them the fee. They'll pay me just a little bit off of it, I believe, too. So and you'll be paying exactly what I pay. It's like 35 cents or 45 cents for a check and 2.90, I think, for the credit card. Sometimes that'll come in handy. So I hope this has been informative to you. If you have any questions, you can contact me at landonkrigler@gmail.com, LANDONCRIGLER.com. Or you can look it up, Krigler Realty Group. And we have a website. And you can also look up Text Catcher if you want to send those automated text. That's my company as well. So this sounds interesting to you. We can talk and we can have a Zoom call and I can go over this with you. I'll send you the program once you purchase it. And then we'll have a session that we'll sit down and get you started. You can use your own house if you don't have any to start with. And that way you'll see it works. You can bill yourself. That'd be nice. Do you pay yourself well? That's what one person said. He said, well, I'm self-employed. He said, well, do you pay yourself well? I thought that was kind of funny. Maybe you don't, but I thought it was kind of funny. All right. LandonKrigler@gmail.com. Send me a email or go to Text Catcher. I think all my information's there too, or Krigler Realty Group. I'm everywhere. So everywhere you want to be or don't want to be. All right. I said I was going to stop this video, and I've just procrastinated. I like to talk too much, and that could be a problem when you're selling. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you stayed to the end, for those about to sell or lease, we salute you because it is not easy.